girl, Erica Wilson, the host of It Had to Happen show. You knew that you had to turn to God because He's the only one that could get you out.
Such a blessing to be able to sit with you, son.
You know, like in the isolation, sometimes we feel lonely or not being able to fit in, or this person is not going to bother with me or whatever. But that is the time when God says, "Be still."
Right.
And know that I am God. There you go. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm a single mom with 2 kids, struggling, rape victim, homeless, robbed at gunpoint. All those things had to happen to me to birth me for my purpose today. And that's why I'm standing here today giving back.
Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with your girl, Erica Wilson, at It Had to Happen. Season 4, guys, episode 19. And man, oh man, do I have a treat for you guys on today. Listen, I have Mr. Hisyde here with us today, and he says, "Is it over?" By the end of the show, we're going to know whether is it over or not. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and read his bio while we flash his pictures. Mr. Hisyde is an American country and Southern soul blues singer and songwriter currently based in Dallas, Texas. Bringing newness to country, soul, and blues, Hisyde is an upcoming artist who magically weaves his Southern country roots into the music of today. His lyrical sound is gratification on another level, and with lyrics inspired by the love of poetry, guys. Born in El Dorado, Arkansas, and raised just down the road in Strong, Arkansas. Am I saying that right? Cynric Greer. I don't know if you wanted me to say his name, but Mr. Hisyde started managing and doing promotional work for a rap group called the Swagger Boys in South Arkansas after graduating high school. In 2009, he moved to Dallas to pursue his gospel recording contract with producer Flacco the Great. When Flacco relocated to California, Hisyde pursued musical studies at Eastfield Community College, interned in artist boot camp under the engineer professor Brad Cox. His debut single, Oochie Coochie, was released globally in March 2019 and has consistently charted on numerous blues and southern charts and has been lauded as the best ever first single heard from an artist on iTunes. Mr. Hisyde has muddied the waters at shows like Soul Fest 2019 and hopes to play for larger arenas throughout the nation. He's also shared the stage with notable artists like Carl Sims, Bobby Rush, Lattimore, Ricky White, and Lenny Williams. I wish I could sing on the Once in a Lifetime Living Legends tour. Mr. Hysyde's debut album, Who is Hysyde? Released in early May 2021 and was lauded an astonishing 4 out of 5 stars from the blues critic with a conglomerate or southern soul hit singles like the urban swing out classic Oochie Coochie. The gift of featuring line dance pioneer Big Moochie and Rico C, which was crowned Line Dance of the Year Underground Southern Soul Awards. Then Is It Over? In 2021, Blues Critic Best Funk Dance Song, nominated for Best Collaboration Southern Soul Music Awards, and the Southern Arkansas Anthem, Hap Here. Hysyde is really coming on, ladies and gentlemen. For your love comes at you as easily as Mr. Campbell's I'm Stepping Out a couple years ago. This song plus Is It Over? Should catapult Hysyde above the rank and file for good. Every song he's ever written revolves around bigger ideas and forms of self-expression, dreams, epiphanies within my dirty South journals, he explains. Fresh, ambitious, and a man with a plan. All right, Mr. Hysyde. Hysyde's sound is a much-needed breath of fresh air in today's commercial music scene. Listeners want something new to resonate with, and Hysyde got just that. All right, guys, so without further ado, let me introduce to some and present to others Mr. Hysyde. Welcome, King.
Hello. How are you?
I
So,
am awesome.
you too. Kind word.
Where you're cutting out, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said you're too kind with your words.
Well, thank you. But listen, when I read your bio, it like literally blew me away. You're doing some great things, some big things I see. And congratulations, I must say.
Thank you.
Everything that you're doing and getting ready to do. I know that God is definitely going to catapult you to an area where you just cannot imagine you're not going to have so much room. You just got to make room. Got to make room for what God is getting ready to do. I'm just telling you that. And I had a chance to listen to your music as well. So I didn't tell you, but I'm going to surprise you. And I'm going to play this song really quick. So you can tell after we play the video, you can tell the people who is Mr. Hysyde. So let's get that video.
Beats up on the track.
Bill, man, this girl been gone 24 hours. Been gone 24 hours in a day, man. I don't know who she think I am. I gotta call her up, man, and let her know what's on my mind. She better have here. I got one question. Right now. I'ma ask her. Is it over? Is it over, baby? Yeah. Are you coming back home? Stop playing. I gotta know, baby. Is it over? Ooh, we baby. Are you coming back home? Let's go. Go talk to us. You're the one who did the wrong. You know you wrong, girl. I caught you with your drawers down in another man's arms.
Oh my God.
Wow, Mr. Hyde. Well, all righty then. You heard what Mr. Hysyde said on his song. So, Mr. Hysyde, please tell the audience who is Hysyde.
Hysyde is and I hope I'm not cutting out on you, but Hysyde, man, it's just what it is. It's a who I am is someone that goes over and beyond my expectations. Hysyde means going over and beyond your expectations and overachieving what could ever be thought. So that's what that is. Who am I? I'm just a young Southern guy from South Arkansas, man, that's out here in Dallas making music right now and living life and loving it. That's it. I'm simple. I'm a simple man.
All right then. So I used to live in Dallas. Well, not live there. My son played there, and I had the opportunity to go there a lot, and I love it. I love Dallas. So I know that you're getting the best exposure out there because it's such a big city. You know. So tell us what it was like coming up as a child. Did you see yourself here?
Oh man. No, not at all. Not at all. Coming up as a child was my childhood memories are it's more of like I remember when we used to have to go next door, to get water from the neighbors because, it was a rough upbringing. But we made it through it, what I'm saying? And it planted a lot of seeds, and those seeds have grown to the person who I am today. I never saw myself doing Southern soul blues. I always wanted to do gospel music. And I think one of my things was I wanted to do a song with Kurt Franklin. And until I actually met him. When I met him, I was like, this is all right. Nothing bad on Kurt, what I'm saying? It's just when I met him, it was like, hey, he's just a normal person like me doing music. And he gave me something. He was like, you know what, man, in God's timing, and I know it was I knew it was a thing to say back then when you was like, hey, I don't know you, you know, but as we get older, we analyze cliches and be like, I understand. But he's just a normal person like me doing his thing. So yeah, me growing up, man, it was a little rough. I grew up with my mom. There's 5 of us. Um, man, it was rough. I don't know how deep you want me to go into this,
It's
but
totally up to you.
you know what? My life is an open book a little bit. So my mom wasn't always the cleanest of person when it comes to as far as drugs. So her and her boyfriend, there were certain things that we had to endure as far as drug issues and being on welfare, just going through things like that as a growing up. Single parent, you could say single parent because my dad was married somewhere else, you know, in the same city but in another household. So it was kind of hard on my mom. I remember walking like hear older people talk about, man, we walked 10 miles to school. And I remember walking 10 miles to the next town, and getting rides from people on the back of the truck. And they were like, why are you walking? Why are all you and your kids walking? Sometimes it just turn out raining. But at the same time, like you said, God has better things for you, So he saw us through that. Then later on, around 12 years old, I moved with my dad. Things got much better. Me and my brother moved with my dad. So it got much better. That's my younger upbringing. Just being bad. I was one of the baddest ones in the family. So don't ask me about
But you know what, Mr. Hisyde, that's all right there. That's all right there because
that.
that's what it had to happen is about. It's about your journey, your pain, and your purpose. And early
Yeah,
on in life, to endure some things with mom. And we never know why the it's happened, but we know that they had to happen to birth us for our purpose. And here it is. Thank God it didn't break you. It made you better.
no,
It didn't make you bitter. It made you better. So to God be the glory for that. And now you're out here doing great things,
yeah,
and some we don't like to go through those it's, right? We just want the glory. We don't want to go through the story. We just want the glory. And we just
all
want
right.
things to be perfect. But that's not so, not in this life at least. But thank you for sharing that, and here you can share as much as you want. Here is
Oh,
totally open to you. But this is what this show is about, telling your it and then telling how you overcame it. So now they heard your it and now they can see where you are today. And hopefully you're encouraging somebody who's going through. It's
ab-
not always, yeah.
absolutely. For me, I come to the realization that your gift is not for you anyway, it's for other people. So that's why I try. Well, I ain't gonna say try. I continue, you know, to do things and just give back as far as whether it can be from conversation, counseling, uh, monetary, music, or whatever gift that God has given me. What I'm saying? I try to give it back to people because I know, hey, I can't take this with me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
trying to bless somebody else with it.
That's good. And I'm glad that you said that, because when you say giving back and you name different ways of giving back, because sometimes people think just giving back is monetary, and it's not.
Oh no.
It's it's definitely service as well. So I'm glad that said that here, or it had to happen. But definitely, what God gives to us, He gives us to serve others. And even with the it's in our life, they happen to us, but for us to show it someone else. So that's why I decided to bring you, Mr. Hisyde, here at to happen. So hearing that you had this hardship early on, right? And now you're making this music. So from Tom Felton said this, right? He said the idea of being famous is a lot, right? Better
Yeah.
than the reality. You get that? The idea, okay,
Hmm.
of being famous is a lot better than reality. So if you were to become famous, what would you want to be known for?
Oh man. Basically, I want to be known for doing God's will. If for me, I mean, whatever He put on my heart to do, put in my spirit to do. Forget the heart. The heart is filthy. So, whatever
You know?
to do, that's what I want to be known for. Um, the reason I'm doing this right now, the reason I'm doing the music, the reason I'm doing the interview, the reason I'm doing everything that I'm doing as Hisyde is because I told God, before I leave here, I want Him to empty me of all my gifts. So this is just one of the things that I'm actually doing. One of multiple things He has me doing right now. And I can boast about Him because it's all Him. It's none of this is, you know what I mean? So you might hear the music, and some of it I am proud of, because there's a song that I consulted him to actually help me write. It's called For Your Love. So if you listen to the lyrics of For Your Love, I'm actually talking about him. But it may think I'm talking about a woman. But but yeah, so I feel good about that because we wrote that one together. So God has helped me through all of this. When we talk about the hardships that we go through in life, that beginning with my mom, that was just a small token of it. I mean, it's so many tears that I went through to actually get here, not TEAR, but TEIR, you know. So different tears that, I had to go through, checkpoints that I had to consistently repeat because I didn't learn my lesson. So in order to go to the next place that He wanted me to be at. So I know with God, from what I've learned and discovered is we have to be in the right position. Because if we're asking God for something and to bless us lyrically, like for me, as far as music, Southern Soul Blues is one thing, but country music is a whole different monster, you know.
Wow.
So we deal with a lot of things that, as Black artists, that a lot of the Caucasian artists wouldn't deal with. I say African American artists, that the Caucasian artists wouldn't deal with, because I talked to 3 record labels already. As soon as I put my song out, my country song, they were on me. Those things that have been said that I look like, wow, that's what it is. And now we have to question, man, why do I even really want to be in this? You know, but somebody had wrote something and said something that said, if someone does you wrong or someone's offends you and that makes you change, that means the enemy has already won. You know,
Amen.
I
Amen.
wow, so I'm not. It's great. So I'm continuing on in this thing, even when it's hard.
Well, it's in the uncomfortable places when God do His best work. You know,
Absolutely.
we just, like I said earlier, we just want, everybody want a microwavable fix, and it's just not that
All right.
way with God. God has all our promises in His hand already, and it's waiting for us. Like you say, you have to get in line. You definitely have to get in line and show God. Now, we're not perfect, of course. No one is, only
Uh,
Him, right? However, He just wants us to sup with Him, to talk with Him. He's a jealous God, so we
that's
can't
it
be
right
before Him now, right? And I had to learn that
there.
the hard way, Hisyde. And I'm telling you, it wasn't a good feeling, but hey, it had to happen. So tell us about a time when you just knew that it was nobody else that you can call on but God.
Oh man, I'm gonna be extra real with you because I haven't shared this story, for years. It's been years since I shared this story. I know people talking about mental health. A lot of people. There are a lot of ads out there, a lot of promotion about hey mental health, this and that. Some for the good reasons, for some for bad reasons. But for me, mine had to do with more of like emotional stuff. So I believe emotion plays a huge part in mental health. So just getting your emotions in check and not making, rash decisions really, really helps. But I will tell you what happened to me. I was at a point, I was getting off of work. I used to work for Georgia Pacific back in Arkansas. And me and my daughter's mom had got into it. We weren't living together or anything. She was in college, and I was just working. And for some odd reason, she would do this thing where she wouldn't let me see my child, and it took my grandmother to be like, dude, really? But anyway, so I got so in my feelings. I allowed myself to get so in my feelings about this situation until I was like, you know what? I'm just tired. I'm done. I'm done. I'm through. I don't want to be here no more. And I when I allowed those negative emotions to come up, I opened the door too. I opened the door for where the enemy to actually come in and just talk to me, and talk to me. So I'm driving, it's raining, it's cold, and I'm like, this huge bridge that goes over the river. I'm like, I'm just driving. I'm like, I'm so tired of this. I'm tired. So I hit the gas, I literally hit the gas and I'm going 80, 90, 100. It's raining now. It's raining. 110. I'm in an Escalade. Like, I'm in an Escalade. So I make the decision, like, okay, I hear something say, do it. So I go. I turn the wheel. I'm off the road, you know? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to give it up. I'm giving up. I'm literally giving up, but didn't know that I was giving up at the moment. You know what I mean? So all I wanted to do was I wanted this pain to be over. So my truck it immediately started sliding sideways, hit gravel, it blew my tire out, truck started flipping, and I wanted to go toward the trees, but it didn't do that, so it started flipping, it went in a whole different direction. I had a huge speaker box with some 12 subwoofers in the back of the Escalade. And I'm in the driver's seat, nobody's in the passenger seat and everything. So, and the truck flips, and the next thing you know, I holler out, it goes up in the air and I hear nothing. It's just silence. It's just silence. And I said, Lord, help me. Oh, Lord. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And after that, it's like, it literally felt like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But it was nothing but silence. And I knew something was about to happen. So I hit the river. And, but when I hit it, the speaker box was coming. Huge speaker box was coming. And it landed in the passenger seat. It landed directly in the passenger seat and just busted up everything. And mind you, no, I take that back. I'm sorry. Let me give you the real thing to make it real with you. It wasn't my Escalade. It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. They're not very big, but it was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, like an 03 or something like that. And it landed in the passenger seat, and I'm just sitting there, and I was just so upset and still mad and still in myself, in my feelings. And I just hit the gas because the truck was still running. It landed on all fours. Truck still running. I'm like, man, just floor it. I done messed up anyway. So I'm going into the river, So still trying to give up, even though you done called out for him. But I get out. I'm like, man. Then I hit the water. Water started coming in, and I come to my senses. I'm like, what? The water come in, and it hits me, and I come to my senses. I'm like, what have I done? So I get out, and I get out, and I'm like, no scratch, no nothing. I'm like, Lord, that was all you. That was all you. And since then, it's like been nothing but for him, you know? Yeah,
You know what? It's good that you touched on that topic and you said about the mental health. It starts with your emotions. And
absolutely.
let's know that we make so many decisions out of emotions. You
Yeah,
know, we permanent decisions off of temporary emotions. And
yeah,
if we could just get that in control or, speak about it more. Because at that time, all you saw was, I can't see my child. Like, I'm just fed up with this. I'm just tired of this. But guess what? God forbid you carried out your plan. You will never be able to see your child. But to
right.
God's glory, He saved you and you are here today. So that was your wake up call, I guess you would say, because you said from that point on, you kind of it woke you up. So everything you're doing now is for him.
Yeah, and I tell you, it was and that moment right there was when I look back on it, because I didn't see it then. I mean, it's years before I saw what had actually, to where he revealed to me what really was going on in that situation, and just unveiled a lot of things that the enemy had going on, a lot of things that I allowed, you know. And I'll tell you a funny thing. My grandmother, my late grandmother, she was like, boy, what are you doing? Like, don't you ever beg no woman for no kids? Let her go do her thing. She be calling you otherwise. I'm about to come get these kids. And that's exactly what happened. It changed my whole mindset about it. And I'm like, if I would have just let that alone, and it wasn't as big as I made it out to be. But I say, never make decisions off of emotions. And I tell my kids that now. I said, don't let your emotions decide your next move, because emotions make you want to love a person, make you want to kill them. So we don't even move with that one right there.
Mr. Hisyde, say it for the people in the back.
Emotions make you a person, make you want to kill them. So leave it alone. Do it.
Oh, so man. Oh,
But
man.
I was young. I was like 19, I was like 19 then, 18, 19. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what.
Yeah.
You see, you felt at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Women emotions is just wild. So just imagine that for you as a man. So 10 times worse for a woman. Okay? So let me just put that out there.
Now, we're
However,
a bit extreme. Yeah.
yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. So listen, maybe that was God's plan. We don't know, right? But here it says, Peter to Lord. He says, a plan is what? A schedule is when. It takes both to get things done. Got that? The question is, do your schedule reflect your priorities of becoming who you want to be?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I can definitely touch on that, because this is something, I mean, you picked the right person today.
So God did it.
He did it. And I thank God for that, for this interview, because, this is something that I need to actually refresh my spirit. I got a lot of things actually happening in the moment, and I definitely need a word, some guidance, every single thing, prayer. This is always a good thing, but
Yes.
what I know, that God, he sets your end before your beginning,
That's it.
and then pushes play. So if he sets our end before, he already has who he wants us to become, who he wants us to actually develop into. But he gives us free will. So once he hits that play button, you have free will to go any direction you want to go. And like I mentioned earlier, there are checkpoints, to where, and I believe that your blessings are attached to your obedience. Even though he blessed the just and unjust, but those good ones, you know what I'm saying, that the fulfilling are really attached to your obedience, and I've seen it. I've been through it. I know what it looks like. When he just be like, I got you right there. There you go. Thank you. So when you're on that road, according to his will, and his purpose, then it's just totally different. You can hit that thing a little bit faster. You can hit it faster than you normally would. You can become who he wants you to become faster than you normally would. And I believe that, hey, our time probably wouldn't be here. we wouldn't be here that long, if we just did it his way. It wouldn't be 170, 80 years, we'd be up out of here. They got that, take me home,
That's it right there. I hear a lot of people saying, like, I'll give my life over to Christ when I finish with this or when I get my life together. You'll never get your life all the way together.
Oh, no.
God knows, he knew us when we was inside our mother's womb, right?
Absolutely.
We were formed in our mother's womb. However, if you are that perfect person, God don't have no need for you, sweetie. He wants the broken. He wants the ones that's going through. He wants the ones who are going to call on the name of Jesus, especially not just when it's good. When it's bad, but he wants you calling on him when it's good too. He's a jealous God. He wants us to recognize all things, but sometimes we could get beside ourselves and we could just forget who he is and forget to, even if you just say, Lord, I thank you.
Yeah.
That's good enough for him. That's very good for him. But I'm going to tell you something else too, because you talked about that incident and you thought that you were going to close the book then, right? But God says, you tried to throw that towel in, but God threw it right back at you, right?
Exactly.
So it says, don't close the book when bad things happen in your life. Just turn the page, Hisyde, and begin a new chapter, says LaToya Jackson. So what impact do you want to make in today's society? What do you want your next chapter to be about? So that's a two-part question. The first one, what type of impact would you like to make on this world?
I just want to be a light, man. If I could be a light to it, in all these dark places, dark moments, that's what I want to do. That's what type of impact I want to make. I want to make, like, for what I'm doing right now, I have so many coals, getting burned right now. So I just want to make sure that I'm leaving a legacy of something that he would be pleased with. You know what I mean? Amen. But God, that you asked about this is for Hisyde, but I'm giving you the real me.
Okay.
Even though I got to wear the Hisyde mask and the Hisyde face, the hat, but the man behind the music, this is me. On the daily, I constantly analyze myself. I constantly, want to make sure that my mind, is renewed. I constantly want to make sure that that I'm evolving, with the time, so that I can present myself, to, in a let me see. I'm not gonna say pleasing way because it's not about people pleasing, but in a way that I can definitely help people. So, and like I mentioned, I mentioned being a light. Definitely want to do that. That's really it.
Okay.
In whatever way Paul said he became all things for all men. What I'm saying? Let's do it. So,
you want to take on a big role, right? But that's all right. That's all right. If God equips you, then you can do it. That's one of the things. God equip you, you can do just that. But what do you want to
put everything else that we need,
Yeah.
We just got to
activate that thing, right?
Yeah.
So listen, what do you want your next chapter to be about?
My next chapter is about building outside. It's going to be outside of music. I know that. I'm going to do music. I'm going to finish my gospel album, but my next chapter is more of like just entrepreneurship. I'm a franchisor outside of music. I founded a wellness clinic back in 2014, and I franchised it out back in 2018. So I have a franchise owner in the Dallas area. I have I have one that's coming up in Arizona. A franchise owner is going to be out there, and I'm going to open up another company store here in the Dallas area. And just opened a vending machine company. So I got 2 accounts on that one already. And then I'm doing, you see Hap here, the brand is international now. We're shipping all over the place. And the record label, Dirty South Journals. Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations, guys. You heard it here. It had to happen. We're here live today with the girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for season 4, guys, episode 19 with Mr. Hisyde. Mr. Hisyde said, "Is it over?" Tell us about that. When did you come up with that? The reason why I picked that one is It Over. And the name of my show is It Had to Happen. So break that down.
Is it over? It's funny that you said that because I was on TikTok earlier today and I was letting them know that, hey, I will be on this live on this podcast. And we was talking about, is it over? I think for that, I have to thank Beat Flipper, from out of Baton Rouge, if you ever heard the song Side Piece, that's what he's one of the songs that he's famous for.
Wait.
He
Wait, I need a new boo? No. Side piece.
His name is Beat Flipper. So Beat Flipper, if you heard of the song called Side Piece, he's famous for that song.
I think I know what you're talking. It was all over TikTok, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So he's famous for that song. So he made the track, and I have to thank Ghetto Cowboy. Ghetto Cowboy is an awesome artist, awesome writer. He came up with the concept, the song, like the hook. So he came up with the hook. Is it over? Are you coming back home? So yeah, I love that dude. So I become friends with Avell Hollywood, and Avell Hollywood is they call him the king of grown folks music. So
okay.
Yeah. He is the king of grown folks music too. So he does a lot, and he has that title for a reason. So I summoned him to actually come in and actually get on the song with me. And he said, "Yeah, man, I do it." Which I'm like, "What, for real?" He's like, "I'll do something with a lot of people." So he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." He said, "I like you. You cool, and I like what you're doing. You remind me of myself." I was like, "Okay, cool." So it took a while. We got getting this song together, but I ended up writing the verses, and I was just thinking about, just some of the things that we go through as males. We clowning in front of our boys. Hey, man, this girl ain't came home, man. She gonna hear it today. Oh, it's going down. Oh no, I'm gonna get the last word, and then you going through all this stuff. You don't find out all this stuff, but at the end of the day,
wait a
you
minute,
still gonna
just a girl. The man don't come home either now. Come on, give us some credit.
Look here, but the girls don't be coming home either. Look, y'all get too much good publicity. Now, a lot of the women don't be coming home too. They be out all type of night.
Listen, I'm coming home. Okay, I'm coming to my home. You understand?
Hey, the men, they out there with somebody. Exactly. So they ain't out there by themselves. They out there with the women.
Sometimes I said. Oh my God! She said he's out there somewhere. Well, yeah.
They somewhere. They with somebody else's woman. He could be out driving, working graveyards. They over there.
Oh my God. Whew. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna move to the next question. I'm going to move to the next question because you kind of messed me up with that one. Woo-hoo. Okay.
No, so basically the song is about, just get, asking, is it over, and the dude just finally getting, hey, that's it. Let's move on. What we gonna do? Cause we got a situation here.
Right.
What we do? We gonna man up, handle it, woman up, and handle it, or we just gonna be over?
Is it worth fighting for?
If it's worth fighting for, that's the thing. And I was in that song. I was definitely fighting for
it. I really listen to the song now to see if he really was fighting, but sometimes they really be fighting and they really don't be fighting. They really be pushing away more.
Right.
So I listen to it, Mr. Hisyde.
No, the struggle was real. The struggle was real. And I say that because they said it ain't a struggle if you ain't fighting back. So I was fighting back, So the struggle was trying to come up with a concept that everybody can relate to. We've all been through something, especially as men. We don't normally talk about our women dipping out on us. We normally talking about us sneaking around with other women, doing something like this, especially in blues. And I just wanted to do something different, with the song, something fun. You know what I mean? So that's what it was.
All right, now is it over?
Is it over?
Go ahead. Y'all go ahead and go to where could they find that song? Just tell us where could they find that song.
They can find that song any download platforms that's out there. Where you get music, you can find that song. Just look up Who is Hisyde, or you can go to hisydemusic.com or hisyde.com, and you can definitely get that music right there, like in just the next minute, real quick.
He said it real quick. So tell us, if they wanted to get in contact with you, how could they do so?
You can definitely contact me at hisydemusic.com. You can go to and it has my email, everything. You can send a message, it'll get right to me. It'll come to my email, or go to hisyde.com and you can get in contact with me. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. I still have my messaging open because I'm just a regular person. So
but you know what? That's good, Hisyde, because
yeah.
where would we be without the fans? Where will we be without the people who support us? So that's good, and that's good. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody, that support everything that I'm doing. Like you said, without them, I mean, what's the use? If I was the last person on earth, I probably wouldn't do music. We do it for other people. So can't do it without y'all.
That is so true. And that's one of the things, I have an NFL Mom broadcast as well, and we had a question that came up. Well, not a question. Someone made a comment to say that the players wouldn't be nothing without them. Not so. Not so. And people have to realize, like, yes, we definitely do. They need the fans, because they're the ones who purchase the tickets, their jerseys, and so forth. However, you can't say that the players are nothing, because they're nothing without God, and that's the only person that they're nothing with.
Exactly.
Because I gave them that talent to be able to perform the thing that he blessed them with, whether what position you may play, just like he gave you the talent to sing before the people. You understand?
Right.
So I just really thought that was really, and I commented. Normally I don't, but I did, and like I told her, I said no, there wouldn't be nothing without God. You understand? Not saying we don't need the people. We love the fans, we love the supporters, because we know without them it would be, we couldn't do this. But think about Hisyde when hearing that he said that when COVID struck.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could come out to the games. Nobody could really go outside unless, they still were going. But, COVID kind of knocked everybody off their feet. So just think about that. So we're going to jump on to something else. So I want you to remember a time. It says, remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Nope, let me rephrase that. No, it did say, remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. You believe that?
I do.
Okay. Right. So how would you respond when you don't get what you want?
It's not for me at the moment. You know what I mean? It's not for me at the moment. I've had a lot of things that's happened to where I didn't get what I want, and I should have got it, and it was just, someone else's hands twisted things, and I should have gotten it, but it all worked out at the end. It all worked out in the end. For me, it's like I mentioned earlier, it's like he sets your end before your beginning. As long as I'm in his will and doing what he wants me to do. And another thing that I think I'm gonna get what he wants from me. But for me, it's more of like this. Don't give me too much to where I'll forget about you. And don't give me too little where I hate you and cuss you. You know what I mean? So I'm good with where I'm at, So whenever it comes, it's fine. I was just having this conversation with one of my friends about what if God gave us everything we asked for? You know, we probably go out and kill ourselves. You know, because we wouldn't know what to do with. I'm like, everybody wants to be rich right now in America. The mindset, everybody wants to be rich.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can't be rich. And what if his goal for you or his plan for you is for you not to be rich?
That's it.
Are you going to keep striving to be something that he never planned for you to be?
There you go, right there.
You
But
see
see,
what
I want to take you back to what you said. You
Yeah.
said that you know that you should have got it, but you didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't your time. God says that wasn't your time because He probably could have gave it to you, and you probably could have messed it up, right? So He
And then
gave it
Yeah.
right when He wanted you to have it. You understand? Because you just said, you know, what if He give us everything that we want? We probably wouldn't be able to handle it. You know, because a lot of us do want that quick fix, that microwavable fix, to get rich, you know, whatever they call it. But if you had that, and I want to make this so clear
Yeah.
to people, because so many people feel like if you have money, you're the happiest person in the world. Not so.
Yeah.
So it only fix a couple of things. You know, it don't make you that happy. Actually, it bring on what they say, more money, more problems. That's a true statement. That's a very, very true statement. So how do you feel about that? Hearing more money, more problems.
I mean, I'm not saying that God doesn't want, he's not against, I'm not against being rich. I'm not against being wealthy. But if we don't know how to manage it, I mean, it can be more problems. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of believers that are rich. You know, I know a lot of believers that are thousandaires, but they're rich in spirit. You know what I mean? So for me, more money, more problems. There's a documentary about lottery winners, right? Oh my goodness, most of them lost everything. You know, a lot of them. I think about, what if I won the lottery? I'm telling you, I analyze things. What if I won the lottery? What would I do? Would I give my family this? I'm gonna give my sisters, I'm gonna give everybody $1 million to get to just pay off all their bills, and another million just to go have fun. Then I'm like, but man, what if my sister decides she wants to start drinking and become an alcoholic and wreck and kill herself? What if, all of that is not, it has to be what he wants. If you don't make provision for that, and I'm just saying this is just random, but if you don't make provision for the stuff like that, because I believe planning is key. So say you do come into a bunch of money, like I would put hey, it'd be a requirement. All my family got to go through diagrams, financial peace. You go through financial peace before you see any of it. You know what I mean? I do not care, because I'm gonna make sure you know how to manage. We buy some land, we're gonna do some things, and we're gonna make sure we have this from generations to come. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a blessing. So what are we gonna do with it? We don't want to just waste it. We don't want to just go do just frivolous stuff with what he's given us, because with our riches, it's not ours. It's his.
That's
you know what I mean? Yeah.
That is so true. People think that
Yeah.
it belongs to them. We're even, listen, we're all on borrowed time. And I say that so much, Mr. Hisyde. We're all on borrowed time. God even loaned us to our parents. He loaned everything. We're all on borrowed time. Just put it like that. And the thing is like you said, you start off saying, I can't take you with me. Yeah, but you definitely want to be able, to help your family and bless your family. But you want to making sure that it's something we're in. Like you said, let's go buy some land. Let's get some businesses to going, so we can bring in some residual income, so we could never have to pay a mortgage or something like that. Because like you said, what if you give that money and that person end up drinking and becoming an alcoholic and that, but It's hard. That's all I'm gonna say. It's definitely. But don't put limits on God, because if He wants to bless you abundantly, that's just what He's gonna do anyway,
Hey,
and
Lord,
He'll
I'm here for
definitely, and He
it.
will give
Open your
you.
garage. You know, whatever you want to do. I'm right here waiting on it. Have here.
Right, right. But that's one of the things we cannot do. We cannot put the limits on God because we serve a big God. We serve a mighty God, and He will blow our minds at times. It's just
Yeah.
again, promises are there, never went anywhere. We just have to get in line and get ourselves right, and He'll do the rest. But it's going to be on His timing. So, Mr. Hysyde, I know sometimes too, like, say for instance, one came to you and asked you for something, and you may have it, you may have it, but God is telling you no, not to give it. And the person that's asking, they have to know, they have to be able to take that no. You
Right.
understand? Because maybe God is wanting them to go through whatever they're going through at that particular time, so He can get the glory and not Hisyde get the glory. You understand? Because we
Right.
like to say, "Oh well, Mr. Hisyde blessed me today." No, God used Mr. Hisyde to bless me on today.
Absolutely.
But when we get told no, we like to be looking at people like, "Oh, I know they got it," but that's not right. That's not right to do. No way, no shape, no form. So let me ask you this. When someone says that you can't do it twice and take pictures, says the unknown. So when was the last time someone told you that you couldn't do something, but then you proved them wrong?
Oh man. Whew. It's
That's a good thing if you can't come up with anything. That's
it's been
very good.
a while. Here's the reason why. I like to surround myself with people that are brutally honest with me. I always believe in having at least three mentors from different industries, whether it's my pastor, um, my financial advisor, or, business coach, or just a friend that's doing something, but that has wisdom. So it's been a while. I can't remember
That's awesome.
anybody telling me that I couldn't do something, at this stage in my life. I can't remember that. It had to be when I was younger, way, way younger. And that's how far back it's been, because I've always, superseded what they said, with the help of God. You know,
Right.
I just have, it tends to come easy, putting the effort in and trusting and doing research, and always figure it out, you know?
That's good. Now that is good. That's a word in itself right there. But what I like to do, right? I like to shout out our audience because Mr. Highside, we can't do it without them. So what I'm gonna have producer to do is to put the comments on the screen and you go ahead and you shout out and read what they read. Shout out our audience on today, Mr.
Okay.
Highside.
Hello, everybody. It's great to have you guys on here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys supporting Erica Wilson and her show, and support me as an artist. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. So as the comments come up on the screen, can you see them?
Not yet.
Okay,
Okay.
there you go. It's the
You're very
go.
well. Hey, you know what? That was one of my prayers. I pray for wisdom. They say if you can pray for anything, what would you pray for? My thing was wisdom. I believe it'll give you the knack to do and get every other thing that you need, with wisdom. So yeah, I appreciate that. That's God at work.
That's it. Who else we have?
Great. They just turn in. Oh, thank you so much for coming in. Hey, good evening, Carolyn. How you doing? Appreciate you guys joining. Thank you so much.
That's Miss Kimberly Harris. She says, "Good evening."
Kimberly Harris. Oh, hey, what's going on, homegirl? How you doing?
And then we have my cousin that's on, Sharon Appleby. Where did she go? I saw her come in earlier. She's in Miami, Mr. Hisyde. Right? Born and raised. There she is.
At the water.
Well, I'm in Atlanta now. So you have to get to Atlanta, do
Hey,
something
that's
here. All right.
absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
Absolute, Mr. Shannon. Thank you so much for tuning in. But Mr. Hisyde, I don't like to leave the show without asking a guest. Is there anything that you would like to leave with our audience on today?
You know what? I would tell you guys, something. I guess it would be, if you don't believe, that there's a higher power, that there's someone out there that's loving on you, regardless of whether you can see them or not, that has your back, that's interceding for you on your behalf. It is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just give him a chance, give God a chance to direct your path, to guide you. I would say, hey, the disasters of this earth, of this world right now, are up like 40%, in the last year or so. There's scripture that says fire, floods, earthquakes, tornado, hurricanes. Those are like the birth pains of the end. So, hey, get that insurance, man. Get that insurance with the Lord. Make sure you got yourself taken care of, because you never know what day, what hour that he's going to come back. And here's the thing, you don't know what time, what your expiration date is. So it could be the next minute, But I love you guys. I thank you guys for having me. Just keep trusting in God and just keep moving in the moment. You know what I mean? The moment that he's purposed you in.
That is good, Mr. Hisyde. That's really good. But we did a show on Monday. I do a prayer broadcast with my covenant partners and I every Monday 30. And the topic was they said versus what God said. And if you can, you definitely should go back over to my YouTube and watch it, because man, where there's some jewels that was dropped right there. And we have to be careful of the things that we speak out of our mouths. We have to, so especially in this season that we're in, and when so much is going on. But like I said, we serve a mighty God that sits high and looks low, and he loves us. He has our promises right there in his hands, guys. Just get in line with him. You don't have to be a perfect person. We all fall short of the glory of God, but he still loves us. That unconditional love, what more could you ask for? But you said something so profound. You say, get that insurance with Jesus. That's good, right? So, Mr. Hisyde, thank you so much for accepting the invitation, coming on, and people, whenever you feel a need or want to come back on, you're more than welcome to go and rebook. We'll love to have you back to bless the people. I'm sure we didn't touch on everything. So, but you're more than welcome to come back. So, Mr. Hisyde, let's go ahead and send the people out with some virtual hugs. We like to give them hugs, and we like to give them love in this season, because we love, love, love each and every one of you. And I must shout out my cousin. Man, I'm about in tears. She was on here Monday. Miss Sharon Appleby. I love, love, love you, cousin. Cena, all the way from Jacksonville. That is my sissy. Carolyn Prophet, Miami. Who else? Jeanette Hilton. She says, wonderful encouragement. God bless you, Queen. We have Kimberly Harris. God bless each and every one of you. If I didn't shout you out, shout it to my head and not my heart. We love you. Until next time, God bless you. Bye-bye.
All right, see you guys.
Erica's Empowering Empire. 88 Blessings Soar Movement. It had to happen in a beauty so rare. We'd love for you to join us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Following our social media.